Okay, so my apologies. I don't know. Facebook just decided to try to leave. All right, so I'll continue from where I stopped before we had that technical glitch. I was on the fact that, so let me give you this definition of the strong woman. Um, Someone aptly described the strong woman as one that believes in the power of her existence, one, and the positive impact she can make on the world. So when you hear strong woman, men, don't be scared and think that, oh, they are talking about, there might be people talking about feminism. It does not change the fact that the woman's world requires plenty of prepping, strengthening, push, drive, and all of that. That goes without saying because for so many years and decades in history, there has been, particularly in Africa, there have been certain narratives around that gender. So helping that gender to jolt out of that circle and beginning to do something better is not going to be something that nobody will need to say a thing about. So when you say conversations, don't be quickly agitated. Remember, I was mentioning that last week and saying that experience the women in your life for who they are. Don't carry over what you knew or know or heard about women onto the life of the women in your space. That will be, you'll be denying yourself the opportunity of meeting them for real. That said, I'd like to also mention that this definition says that a strong woman is one who she believes deeply in the power of her existence. So you believe that God is intentional about making you a woman. He didn't make a mistake. I remember many years ago as a teenager, I never used to like to be called a girl. I used everything girl used to like because there were so many narratives that were not appreciative of the girl. But you see, it's no longer so today because I've been reorientated. So when you see women being reorientated or being empowered with knowledge, don't easily switch up and think that, oh, they started talking about, no, 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 no. Don't forget that this world cannot be its best if women don't become their best. You cannot have 100% benefits in the world if the population of women almost as much as men, both in the world and even in Nigeria today, do your statistics. You will be shocked at how much we are losing if women are not who they should be. If men only have to continue to cultivate the earth for women to just lay back and consume, we cannot be at all. So we must come to that reality. So this is always not a case of competition. It's a case of understanding. It's a case of knowing that there's an intention, even from the creator creating the woman, and that there's a unique advantage that the world stands to gain if the woman becomes her best. If you cooperate with the women in your space to become their best. I don't want to get into the secure man talk today, but this definition says that being a strong woman is coming to that state where you believe deeply in your existence, the power of your existence. And number two, you believe in the positive impact that you should make on the world. Both of them are equally important. So what if you value and you celebrate the power of your existence and you do not know the positive impact that you are meant to make on the world? So the strong woman understands that there's an impact I'm supposed to make on the world. She begins from her family, she moves on to her place of work, she moves on to her church place, she moves on to everywhere you find a strong woman. She lives value in her trail, and then she lives there with, living there better than she met it. That's the power of the strong woman. She understands the positive impact she's supposed to make on the world. But you see, there are certain characteristics that will help her perform it. And I'm going to talk about some of them today. The strong woman, for instance, some of the questions I will answer on the 30th, I will be able to answer the question, can you tell as a woman, can you tell if you're a strong woman? You'll find out. You may even find out a lot today when I list out those things. Then number two, as a man, can you recognize a strong woman if you find one? Number three, can you recognize a strong woman and compliment her? So even when you recognize, can you compliment? Now for the woman also, do you know that you do not have to feel masculine to be a strong woman? So the word strong is not a competition with the physical macho composure of a man. It has nothing to do with it. It can have a lot, of course, to do with mental sagacity. It can have a lot to do with knowledge. It can have a lot to do with creativity and innovation. But it never starts and then stops at physique. No. So, what are some of the qualities of a strong woman? Number one, she's intelligent. Oh yeah, she's intelligent, unapologetically intelligent. But you know, intelligence doesn't jump on gender. Intelligence is not gender specific. There's nothing like men are intelligent, women are not. There's no word like that. In fact, as part of my study of women that has helped me in my personal life and pursuit, because I found myself playing in spaces that belong to men a lot. Talk about journalism. Journalism, in the days when I was in the newsroom, you had more men than you had ladies. Yes, and you had to prove your mettle. Nobody was going to give you any byline just because you are a woman. Neither will they give you a byline because you are a man. You have to merit it. She's intelligent. So, can you tell if you're a strong woman? Are you intelligent? Do you value intellect? Do you value intelligence? Do you close your knowledge gaps as often as you should? Do you have a program of becoming more intelligent than you were when you were giving birth to? Do you have a program that continues to adorn your brain with the relevant requisites and timely knowledge that you need? The strong woman is intelligent. It means that she's not laid back. She's not just that just act and just be doing laid back. No! Strong women step out there to learn what they must learn. They put themselves under the pressure. Let me tell you something that you might not know about me. I probably wouldn't have gone to school, or I probably would have had the excuse for not being a university graduate by now. What if I told you that when I was going for my university program, I was also working at Punch? So every time you hear me say I was working at Punch, I was not just working, I was working for most part of the first few years. About the first 7 years, I was both working and schooling because I don't want to mention the name of the school now. I'll cast. Anyway, let me not mention. Let me just say that the school kept having issues. There were strike, there were this and that. I was doing a part-time program. So I will go in the morning. See the power of a strong woman and how much she drives, like she doesn't give up when it comes to, I want to learn, she learns. She's intelligent. So woman, come out of being unintelligent. What are you doing in that space? Who told you that you don't have the capacity to learn as much as the men did? I said I did a research recently, I think 2 weeks ago, and found out that there's a little difference in the size or the number of cells in a man's brain and that of a woman. But the research also said that that size has nothing to do with capacity to understand. I mean, that does it for me. I'm not concerned about how many. Does it make me more mentally retarded than the man is? Does it give the man the advantage over me when it comes to learning? No. I found out that when it comes to learning, when it comes to understanding, when it comes to gathering knowledge, when it comes to being intelligent, the woman has as equally a fair deal as the man does. God has done well. So woman, if you are not intelligent, then you are only allowing yourself. That's not the flavor of the strong woman. The strong woman, go and look at the CV of the new Zenith Bank, newly announced Zenith Bank CEO. He go shock you like you will shake. from professional to Nigerian to you to global. She just got it. So on that side, she got. I know that's not all it takes to be a CEO. I understand much more than to think that academics is all you need to be a CEO. But I'm saying that she did well. A strong woman is an intelligent woman. Look, I want women to come out of all these mediocre things about saying we are women. They should allow us. What have you brought to the table? Who are you? Why should you be allowed to come to the table at all? What demands are you putting on yourself? So I was telling you my story. How I completed my first degree. I will leave my house 8 a.m. No, what am I saying 8 a.m.? I resume at my desk in Punch at 8 a.m. I will close my shift of work at 6 p.m. Read my lips, so at 6 p.m. I will leave my desk at 6 p.m. from Mangoro, where Punch was then. I will take a bus. I didn't have a car. I will move straight to what's this bus stop called now? The one after Abanikoro. Anyway, after Abanikoro, that one to start with O. I've forgotten the name now. I will go to that bus stop. I will go from Mangoro, take a bus from the front of Punch in Mangoro, and travel to Idiroko. It's not O, sorry, Idiroko bus stop. Good. Travel to Idiroko bus stop around just before Anthony. You will see this Lagos State University satellite campus. That was where I was. I'll go and do evening school. If you like, call it evening school. Now you sabi. 6 to 9. I will close at 9 p.m. and start heading back to where I live. I don't want to bore you with the details. I will do this from Monday to Friday. The strong woman is intelligent, but she doesn't wait for intelligence. She goes for it. Stop waiting to be sponsored. Stop waiting to be propped by people. Stop waiting to be pushed by people. If your destiny is important to you, you will pick it up. Nothing is going to fall easy or free on your laps. Nobody is going to welcome you to any table you are not deserving of. So, here is the shot and the salvo I'm throwing today. You want to know one of the characteristics of the strong woman, one of it that stands out fast. It is not just talking, no, it is intelligence. Everybody's intellect has the capacity to do far more than they have ever imagined. It can stretch if you will stretch it and feed it with possible positive things and valuable things. So what's the point? The strong woman is intelligent. If that's the only thing I can tell you today, join me on the 30th. I'm going to look. I have done my research very well. Remember, you can go and check out any of the things I've told you. Number one, I've told you that the population of the world is almost 50-50 in terms of percent. So if the women in the world are less productive, the world is in trouble. It means that the best the world can ever get is 50%. So you must help your wife. You must help your sister. You must develop the women in your space. You must encourage that young girl. You must ask them to drive. You must ask them to push, because that is 50% of the world just ebbing away. I am very grateful for the way things have turned. I'm grateful for the great things women are doing around. I honor every woman who has stepped out, even when they are about to be called different names. Because one of the stereotypes they say is that a woman who wants to be everything can never keep a home. But I'm glad that there are people who have kept a home. Many of us have had to learn that you slow down. There are some sacrifices a woman pays. I hope I'll just mention that here. The strong woman is sacrificial. Yeah, she might be the kind of person that wants everything intact. So women eventually lose one thing or the other in the pursuit of this strength part of their life. But I've seen women who have it all. And I inspire myself by making them my role models. Their home is intact. Their business or profession is intact. When they sit anywhere and talk, you listen to them. And they are humble in spite of it. They relate well. Life isn't turning upside down because of them. Life is becoming better. So it's your choice, woman, what you want to make out of your life. All right? That will be all I can do today. But on the 30th, I have a full-blown session on the strong woman. All the men watching me, tell your wife to join me. And please, you to join for the sake of helping. You know, I love men that I call he for she. Those are the secure men. I don't want to start unbundling secure men today. But come 30th, I'm going to be showing you the phenomenon of the secure man and the strong woman. If you have a secure man and a strong woman in one space, that place where there's no stopping that kind of company, there's no stopping that kind of partnership, there's no stopping that kind of team, there's no stopping that kind of marriage, there's no stopping that kind of people. So how do we get there? We'll find out on the 30th, which is 2 Saturdays today. 2 Saturdays from here. The strong woman is intelligence. Take it from me. She is. And she does not have to be intelligent by waiting for intelligence. I just told you, go for it. Go take that course. Yes. And you know, I must add this. One of the sacrifices that the woman, wisdom, let me call it wisdom, not sacrifice. Let's call it wisdom. One of the wisdom that every young woman listening to me must learn early. If you want to get everything, you have to marshal your plan. There will be a time in your life. Look, one of the things I did a lot at the Punch was speak to elitist women. I usually interview them and they were used on the cover page of Saturday Punch. For several, I think I was on that beat for like a year. I spoke with great people. I spoke with the Aninis of this world, Mrs. Anini of this world. I spoke to Grace, I've forgotten her name, I saw name now, Grace Brent, yes. I spoke to Professor Kuye. So many great women in legal, in business, in all areas. And I saw something that was very, very similar to everyone. There was support system. And people who didn't have support system suffered. I spoke with the late Lawson, Alaba Lawson, the big madam. I honor her. She just passed on, I think, sometime this year. Last year. I can't even remember now. But anyway, I love her story. I love her story. So I interviewed many of these. So many of the things I'll be sharing with you, they are not just things I picked from internet. They are things I gathered from years of interviewing women who are out there doing great things. Doing great things. So I can tell you for free that there will be a time in your life when you will need to slow down. Take that from me. Take that from me. If you don't want to take it from me, I don't know what you want to do. You either will slow down, right? Or you will pay your way for everything around that time, depending on what you've got on your table. Okay, and I'm referring to those moments when you are raising your children and they are still very, very young. Depending on what you want, you know, everybody's dream, everybody's purpose, everybody's. So I could not leave my job at those times. Some people will say, I left my job. I had to leave my job. I can recall those interviews from the internet for you. You get to that question, they'll tell you, the Mrs. Ogunde of this world, they'll tell you at a point I had to leave my job. I had to slow down. But while I was slowing down, I ensured that I kept myself professionally upbeat. Then you pick up again and there is no stopping you. Let's talk about this. It's important because if we do not make the women as strong as they should be, the world itself will suffer for it. And that we don't want to see. Why is it important to us on Mind Your Character? Because it talks about qualities that the woman needs to be great on. And here at RCV and on Mind Your Character, we talk a lot about character traits, about values, about strength. Let us meet on the 30th day of the month of March, 10 a.m. Pitchicom, I am live. And what am I doing? Dishing it. I'll continue with qualities. Then I'll tell you how the secure man and the strong man interplay, and how that if you can use this system for your organization, nothing can stop you. Can you imagine what just happened to me now? I am seeing Mr. Godi again. Hey! Maraga! I feel like standing up right now. You see this man right here, Mr. Godi again. Awesome, awesome man. One of the people that made it easy for me to learn the ropes at the capital market. Talk about a secure man. This is one. Kudos. I'm so glad to see you. It's my first time of seeing you on my show. Thank you. If I want to be like Gen Z's now, say, oh, I feel like crying right now. Anyway, Mr. Agena, thank you so much. Thank you for playing the role of a strong man. I was naive. I was untrained. I was coming into a space I had never played in before, and then you took me from there, took me everywhere I needed to be, introduced me everywhere, and at the end of the day, I could stand on my own. Thank you so much. The capital market is not a mean feat for anybody to cover. Go and ask anybody that you know. But this man right here who is joining us on this, and I hope you also know that I've mentioned you in every book where I've talked about my punch experience. Saying kudos to you. Thank you. And thank you, Dr. Raphael James. All these great women you have interviewed, I'm of the opinion that you put them together in a book. Oh, punch doesn't allow you to do that. You can't do that. You can't do that by, I think there's a policy around it. I can talk about, I think I know that there's a policy around it. You can't put them together because the content belongs to the organization. Those interviews were done when I was there, and so it's totally Punch's property. Thank you so much. I know this man, he lives book, he breathes book, he eats book. Oh, thank you, Dr. Raphael. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. All right, so thank you all the secure men in the room today. I've seen Mr. Dimeji, I've seen Mr. Olodu, I've seen my sister Modupe Gutiyo, I've seen, and thank you for always being the first to pop out. Madam Blessing Faye, thank you. God bless you. And I've also seen Debbie. Thank you. We have to run now. I just have to pay homage to that my boss that showed up towards the end of this. We will be dissecting this and putting everything I've learned together just to encourage you. So please, let your girls join me on the 30th. Let the women join me. I mean, gone are the days when you say that I have raised the children, they'll be my glory. There's a lot more that you can get and that you can make out of life. And I'll share my story, my little story, and then we'll share all of the statistics. You have no disadvantage as far as you are a woman. No disadvantage at all. No disadvantage in intellect. But I can tell you, the strong woman is intelligent, not because she's a woman, but because she pushes herself to learn what she should learn. And then she does not stop. Thank you. Bye, everybody. I need my music to play now. I need my music to play as I sign myself out. And I'm asking you to have a very beautiful weekend. Please ensure that you enjoy yourself and do it responsibly. Remember that everything is very expensive now. So do only whatever is necessary. Bye.